Ever wondered what people actually did after the sun went down? Back before Edison decided to make light his personal brand? No glowing rectangles, no street lights, just darkness. What a concept. Yeah, no glow from a screen keeping ancient Romans or medieval peasants up until 2 a.m. When the sun dipped below the horizon, their day, for the most part, simply stopped. Or did it, for thousands of years. Long before we started messing with sleep cycles, most humans had a thing called biphasic sleep. What's that, you ask? It's not just for babies, folks. People would hit the hay shortly after sunset for a first sleep, which lasted a few hours. Think of it as a natural pre-bedtime power nap. Very efficient, very caveman chic. And then, after a few hours of proper slumber, they'd wake up. For an hour or two, they'd be fully awake, chilling out in the dead of night. What on earth did they do then? This wakeful interval was prime time for reflection, prayer, quiet conversation, or maybe even a little adult activity. You know, before the second sleep kicked in. Keeps things interesting. Monks would use this quiet period for vigils or matins, special night prayers. Can you imagine getting up at 2 a.m. to chant? Talk about dedication. And probably a lot of yawning. Families would chat, tell stories, or even tend to chores by the dim light of a flickering fire or a humble oil lamp. It was a shared, intimate experience, far from our isolated late-night scrolling. How did they track time in the dark? No iPhones, obviously. Some cultures used candle clocks with marked intervals, while others relied on the stars or simply their internal body clock. Pretty natural, huh? The most ancient light source? Fire. Obvious, right? From prehistoric campfires to hearths in Roman villas, fire was life, warmth, and the only real defense against the all-consuming blackness. Then came oil lamps, simple clay or bronze vessels filled with olive oil or animal fat and a wick. They provided a weak, smoky glow, but it was better than nothing. And definitely smelled rustic. Imagine Roman streets after dusk. Not the vibrant, lit-up spectacle of modern cities. No, these were shadowy, dangerous labyrinths. Stepping out alone was a gamble, often a bad one. Enter the Vigiles Urbani, Rome's watchmen of the city. These guys were firefighters, Timon's night police, patrolling the city streets, trying to keep order and prevent fires. A tough gig for sure. Darkness was a criminal's best friend. Robberies, assaults, and other unsavory activities peaked after nightfall. So if you had to go out, you'd better bring a torch and some burly friends. Speaking of shadows, what about ghosts? Ancient people didn't just fear bandits. They feared spirits, demons, and restless souls that roamed after sunset. Superstitions ran rampant. The fear of the unknown magnified by the total lack of light. Every creak, every rustle outside your home could be anything. A wild animal, a thief, or something far worse. Talk about jump scares. Inside, a Roman domus might glow faintly from a few oil lamps. But even the wealthy wouldn't light every room like a modern shopping mall. Light was precious and expensive. Every flicker counted, so no binge watching, but board games were popular. The Romans loved their Ludus Duodecim Scriptorum, a backgammon-like game. Imagine heated matches by flickering lamplight. Oral traditions truly thrived in the dark. Storytelling was paramount. Myths, legends, epic poems, passed down around fires, keeping everyone entertained and connected. It was their primetime television. Music wasn't just for day. Lutes, flutes, lyres, they all came out at night. Gentle melodies would fill the quiet hours, sometimes accompanying stories, sometimes just for personal enjoyment. A serene soundscape, but not everyone was sleeping or playing games. Some essential services still operated under the moon's watchful eye. Life didn't completely grind to a halt just because it was dark. Take ancient bakers, for instance. They often started before dawn to have fresh bread ready by morning. Imagine working in the pitch black, only fire for illumination. That's dedication to your carbs. Or potters, firing kilns overnight to achieve specific temperatures for their ceramics. An all-night affair needing constant vigilance. No automatic thermostats back then, just pure human effort. Traveling at night? A whole different beast. Roads were unpaved, unmarked, and often infested with bandits. Most journeys were timed to the sun, or at least the moon if you were brave. Under a full moon, perhaps you could risk it. But even then, shadows played tricks, and every rustle in the bushes seemed like impending doom. Definitely not a scenic drive. And the sounds? A cacophony! Howling wolves, chirping crickets, the rustling of leaves, but also human shouts, distant animal calls from farms, and the creaking of city structures. What about bathroom breaks? Ah, the glamorous side of ancient life. Most homes didn't have indoor plumbing, so chamber pots, were the go-to solution for nocturnal necessities. Keep it close. Chamber pots were the norm. Then, in the morning, these, night soil, treasures would be emptied, often directly into the streets or collection pits. Yeah, medieval cities really smelled different. Medieval Paris or London after dark. Forget romance. Think open sewers, overflowing waste, and the constant threat of disease. A truly sensory experience, and not in a good way. Let's just say city air wasn't exactly fresh. Night was also the time for waste disposal in many places. Think of it as ancient garbage collection, only less organized and much smellier. Eventually, some cities tried to impose public lighting. Rome, for example, had basic rules for public ways, and later, early forms of street lanterns appeared in medieval European towns. A slow process. Venice, for example, had public lanterns by the 12th century, mainly for safety and navigation along its canals. Small but a start. Every little bit helped against the gloom. Lanterns weren't just for public spaces. Wealthier individuals or businesses would hire link boys to carry torches and guide them through the perilous streets after dark. A human flashlight. Think about it. Light was a luxury. Wax candles were expensive, made from beeswax, and only the rich could afford many. Tallow candles, made from animal fat, were cheaper but stank and flickered terribly. Reading a scroll by oil lamp? Forget about crisp pages. It was a painstaking, eye-straining task, often done in short bursts due to the dimness and flickering light. My eyes ache just thinking about it. Taverns and inns offered refuge and light for travelers and locals alike. They were bustling hubs of activity, warmed by fires and camaraderie, until their closing time, of course. Dice games and lively chatter filled the air in these establishments. It was a way to escape the oppressive darkness and connect with others in a warm, relatively safe environment. Maybe even a little too safe, even in peacetime. Guards stood watch on castle walls or city gates. Their lonely vigil, peering into the blackness, was crucial for defense. A job for the truly dedicated. Or perhaps the easily bored. Who loved the night? Astronomers. Ancient Egyptians, Babylonians, Greeks. They meticulously mapped the stars, tracked planets, and developed calendars, all thanks to that clear, unpolluted night sky. The moon wasn't just a lamp, it was a calendar. Lunar cycles guided farming, religious festivals, and even daily routines. Its phases were crucial knowledge, observed by everyone, not just scholars. Ancient peoples tracked solstices and equinoxes by observing the sun's path. But the stars and moon at night were equally vital for understanding their world and marking the passage of time. So the darkness dictated life's rhythm. From sleep to social interaction, work, and even spiritual beliefs. It shaped cultures in ways we, with our 24/7 electric glow, can barely comprehend. No wonder our sleep patterns are whack today. We've completely overridden millennia of natural rhythms with artificial light. Our ancestors would probably call us completely bonkers. Suddenly, that light switch feels a little more profound, doesn't it? From pitch black fear to endless possibilities, electricity truly revolutionized everything. It literally turned night into day. Makes you wonder if we're the weird ones now, constantly bathed in light, never truly experiencing the profound, mysterious darkness our ancestors knew so intimately. What have we lost? Pretty wild, right? If you enjoyed this journey into the ancient night, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more curious history, and tell us in the comments, what surprised you most?